All right, take two. This is John here again. John again, joined with...
Matt Thomas, the Rambo Manian on Studio Redband. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and this is quite different because people are able to see you. So yeah, this should be fun. So
Yeah.
So how have you been, man?
Just running for months. I'm good. How was your holiday?
Not too bad. Short. Definitely short. Which I got a couple more holidays to look forward to, but and it's been a while since we've talked. I mean, I know the last time, we'll actually get to that tonight, the Stallone Q A, which is long overdue. I do apologize to people out there.
Wait.
Because I think we posted that back in May?
Something like that.
And then my desktop, the one I had before, bit the dust in June. So tonight we're going to get to that. But since then a lot has changed. I became a driver for UPS. Been driving for a couple of months. Some people may know that, but it's just cool to finally get up with Matt Thomas and catch up and
it's always a pleasure.
Definitely. So yeah, like I said, we are going to do the Stallone Q&A tonight. We're going to see if we can get through the whole thing. Depends on Matt, if Matt, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
If Matt's up to it, if we come back and do a part 2, we'll see what happens.
I guess we'll see how long we go. I'm down to go the distance.
Going the distance like Rocky stuff. Rocky, yeah. So, I counted 21 questions. Again, this is from back in May, so like I said, I apologize. It's finally here. We're finally going to do it, so here's the Stallone Sly-themed Q&A. And first set of questions, I should have sent these to you, but...
Okay.
But do you want a copy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I can do that right now, but...
This is our third annual Sly Q&A.
Yeah, we've done a couple of these before. Back when on my old desktop, but... The first set of questions I got from Action Fan 80. Okay, the first question... Over the Top was universally panned by critics and received a poor reception when it was released. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed it. I thought the premise of a blue-collar truck driver trying to make his way in the world of competitive arm wrestling while attempting to reconnect with his son was a unique and interesting concept. This is the kind of movie that they don't make anymore. I was wondering what's your take on this movie?
I love this movie. It's got to be up there with my favorite Stallone movies. Everything he just said is perfect. This movie works on so many levels. It's just insane, and they don't make them you couldn't make a movie like that today, and especially all the story behind it, and when you look into the tournament and everything, how they went through that, and the scripts, going back to 1979 with that one, right?
Yeah.
And it was based on another movie, I think. American Dreamer or something like that. And the novelization was just amazing, because then you get the other half of the movie, and there's so much in there that's just how did this not get in the film, Just that whole opening with Cutler putting a hit out on Link. And so the movie opens up with him driving through the snowy mountains and shit, and then the hitman tries to take him off the road, and he ends up going over the side of the cliff. But when he does it, he hits a car, And then Link gets out to try and help the person in the car, but he can't help him, and he watches him burn alive. So and he just calls it in and stands on the side of the road.
So it was a much darker movie.
Someone posted a picture from that scene on Stallone the Action Icon, and it on Brian's page, amazing Facebook page. Go over there and check it out. I think it's the only place where you can maybe it's gone around by now, but I think it's the only place where you can see it, where he's dressed exactly like you see him in the opening shot to the movie.
Yeah.
And he's in action, like he's jumping out the side of the truck.
Okay.
You know? It's pretty cool. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. And recently I was watching The Wizard on last summer. I was watching The Wizard on Netflix, and there's a scene when the girl gets the truckers to go after the what do you call him? The guy, the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
When he's got the kid, and if you look carefully, Frank McRae is driving. I think it's his name, Eclipse from Walk Up, is driving Big Baby from Over the Top. He's driving Lincoln's truck, and the scene where he gets out of the car, out of the truck to confront the guy on the highway. If you look carefully, you'll still see the decal Hawk Hauling on the door.
Huh.
And then the whole front of the grill is changed. It's like a different grill on it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that before.
Yeah, I heard they had the truck somewhere down in Vegas. There's only parts of it left in a scrapyard out of there. And if people are there, they should just go check out the Westgate, which used to be a Hilton, and you can see the room where they filmed all the tournament stuff. I went down there to check it out. I think I got some videos of that on my Facebook, but it's pretty impressive down there. When you're there, it's pretty weird. But great movie. Sorry, I went a little longer on that one.
Yeah, funny enough, I don't have the movie, but I've seen it quite a few times. I don't know, but it's a great, like I said, great movie with a great soundtrack. And
you got to see that trailer.
Yeah, the trailer.
Yeah.
I think I know the trailer you're talking about, but
yeah,
it is.
Wow.
It's a sweet story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sweet story, a simple story that today you just don't see anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's a classic. It's a great. It's how did someone put it? It's pretty much. I mean, it's like Rocky, but with arm wrestling. I mean,
yeah.
It's a wonderful father and son movie,
mm-hmm.
and with a great soundtrack, which I'll mention again. Great score, mm-hmm. And yeah, I love Over the Top. Probably one of his most underrated films.
Little piece of trivia for people out there. Man, I look tired.
Are you good?
Hawk was originally set up to lose that fight at the end. But in losing the fight, he breaks Bull Hurley's arm, and Bull Hurley can never compete again. But Hawk loses the fight, loses the truck, loses the money, and then Cutler feels sorry for him and hands him over Michael. And a new truck and money.
Is that in a novel or something, or?
That was a part of the original script, I believe. Or one of the original scripts.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, you got your...
I got my Bono on. So it's like, switch it to question 2.
Yeah. All right, well, question 2. Okay, this is about Rambo. According to the novel, the character of John Rambo was raised in Arizona on a horse ranch by his Navajo American Indian father, R. Rambo, in a poor and violent upbringing. During his childhood, his alcoholic father would abuse him and his mother. As a half Navajo, John was taught by his tribal elders on the traditional Navajo weapon, the bow and arrow. One night, John's father attacked him with a knife, and in self-defense, John fatally maimed him with his arrow before running away and joining the army. Would you like to see this aspect of the story be tied into Rambo 5 somehow? Perhaps in a flashback scene. I guess this is before Rambo 5 came out.
That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. There's a link to that. There is a link to that in Rambo 5. I don't know if people caught it. The link is... Hold on. Before I get into that, they switch it up in the second novelization, for like the Rambo of the Apes novelization. They switch it up to the mother being Indian and the dad being German. Oh, really? But I'm pretty sure it's the other way around in First Blood, if I'm not mistaken. But I know in Rambo 2, he went back and rewrote things because he crossed over paradoxes. Like, he took half of like what he had from First Blood and half of what Stallone wanted to do for Rambo 2 and James Cameron, and then he like mashed them all together. So they changed some stuff. Like they give you much more of his backstory, why he can't be with women. It goes way, way, way in depth. But there's a scene in Rambo 5. When I saw it, it made me cry. It blew me away. Is the unicorn? Did you see Rambo 5?
Yeah, but I didn't. I know the scene you're talking about, but I didn't catch it.
Yeah, the unicorn.
I blocked Rambo 5 out of my head.
But the scene is so great. I asked David Morrell about the scene, and he was just not happy. But I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't. But I probably would have reacted kind of the same way because I have mixed emotions about Rambo 5. For as many reasons as I love it, I also don't agree with it. But yeah, so Gabrielle, right? I think it's in the extended cut. The cut that's in the you can watch scenes from it now on YouTube. But the extended cut, when he's talking to the grandma, and she's like, "How come you never let me in the tunnels?" It's like, I would, come on, I'll give you the guided tour kind of thing. Turns out that Gabrielle was, I think he said she was, like right when he went to move, when her father left or something like that, that she would come down the tunnel, start coming down when he was making the tunnels. And they had she drew the unicorn on the wall, right? But if like the gentleman who's asking the question, if you go back and read First Blood, when Rambo's being abused, he would go, and sometimes he would even be abused for doing this. He would go to these like caves, right? And he would climb through, the caves and stuff, and he would find old prehistoric drawings of buffalo and stuff painted by the cave painted by the Indian stuff, and he would sit there and stare at the buffalo cave painting, and it would comfort him. Like it would take away a lot of the stress of his life, and I think that's why he's so content in the cave in First Blood. I think that's why he chooses that location. Maybe one of the reasons why he chooses that location. But when you look at it, it's kind of like the link, because that's what opened him up to her, because her father was abusive too, and Rambo's father was abusive. So it's kind of like what connects them.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. And then when he gets shot, when he's like rounding the corner, he puts his hand on it and he's like, oh, and he looks down at it and then gives him the power to move on. Like, yeah. Fuck. Rambo. Damn, it's subtle, but it's there.
Oh, I mean, well, so now you mentioned it, I have to ask about Rambo 5. What did you, I guess like a quick thoughts on that. In case people wonder, because I know people might ask.
I don't like that they changed the timeline from 1975 of First Blood to 1982. When in First Blood they even say, he says, "Oh, I've been like this for 7 years," and it goes back. It fits in the time frame. I didn't like that. They changed all that shit. So I had it written like, he said he was only getting his wings at that point or something like that. But if you do the calculation, that would mean that he only got his pilot's license when he was in jail for 10 years, going into Rambo 2. So I didn't like that. And I didn't like that they only released 30% of the storyline or 20% of the storyline. I hated that because I've been studying up on this movie since I could, since I've been doing the show almost technically. And there's just stuff I was waiting for. I was waiting so long for, But yeah, I don't know. There's little stuff in there that I love. Like I love that. I really love that. Or you know what I really love too? Is when the girl is dying in his arms and he looks down at her and he says, "It's me, Jonathan." It's the first time you hear Jonathan in any Rambo movie. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cute. That was a good touch. I like how he got beat up too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there was so many different things going around for that movie, like so many behind the scenes things, and they never. Not only did they not give us that, because there was a lot of stills that leaked stills online that leaked to other things that were supposed to be in the movie, and there's a lot of background stories too going around about that. But not only that, but in the U.S. and Canada, we got a PG-13 cut here. And it only had, the first 15 minutes of the movie wasn't even in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was pretty upset with that. And the DVD is the same. Depends on what regional coding you get. And I was like, oh my God, how could you do that to the fans? How? That's it's such a slap in the face. I don't know what that's about. I don't know who made that decision, but that was a really bad decision.
Yeah. I saw, to be honest with you, I saw the film and I've forgotten about it. I mean, but I know this is a Q&A and all, but someday I'll get more into that. But 2 more questions from Action Fan 80. The third one. Which of Sly's movies would you like to see an extensive making-of documentary with recent cast and crew interviews and rare behind-the-scenes footage?
There's a lot of those.
I'm going to say Judge Dredd.
Which one?
I would like to see definitely Judge Dredd because that one has a lot of interesting the backstory, the behind-the-scenes is very interesting.
I'm reading a series on that because I'm doing a series of Judge Dredd episodes that it's a prequel and a sequel to Judge Dredd, and it's spanned out over 100-something episodes, and it's all the created world of Judge Dredd that we didn't get to see, all the stories that were released to the fans, but they never did anything with it, and it spans through 2 different DC Comics lines and a Fleetway 2000 AD type of one, which is fucking awesome. And the 2000 AD one even has it's designed on Stallone, everything's designed on Stallone. It's fucking crazy. And it has a magazine font to it, so you get the stories. You get 4 different stories in each 20. There's 23 volumes, but you get all the behind the scenes anecdotes and you get all the what people they brought in on the film and kind of a making of in magazine form.
Yeah.
At the same time, and I remember. episode number 1 actually had a guy who was working on Terminator, and way back when that came out, he was saying how he was brought in for Terminator, and they were going to do for T2, they were going to have the T-1000 was going to be of alien origin.
Huh.
Yeah, and then now I'm watching the new Terminator coming out, and I'm like, there's the way the Terminators are designed and stuff, I'm like, there's something in there. There's something in there. And it kind of links to the T1M, the T1 million on the stage show. It kind of links to that, and at the same time, there's a whole Terminator 3, a 3-volume Terminator 3 that they released in comics that has like all the deleted scenes on, like the Easter eggs on the T2 when they have the T-1000 fighting Enrique in the storyboards.
Yeah.
It's all in there, and it connects everything, and it's weird. It's weird. I'd like to do something on that too, but to cut it short, I would say Judge Dredd is definitely something really cool there, because you have a whole series that is kind of like a prequel, and then a series in the middle of that's happening while the movie is happening, and then a fucking sequel, a whole laid out sequel. And it's over a really long release span. I would say like a year's worth of comics. It's pretty fucking.
I guess like film wise, is there any like what other Stallone movies would you like to see? Maybe them extend some history on, like, you know, as far as like
Rocky. I'd like to see all the Rocky cuts with all the deleted scenes in it, and I'd love to see all the Rambo cuts with all the deleted scenes in it. To go back to the other question. When they were mentioning were some of this stuff filmed, some of the prequel stuff. I met Ted Kotcheff a couple of months ago at an event, and I got to talk to him for a couple of minutes, and I asked him if they had filmed the Rambo origin story, because in the script, when you read the original script, Stallone has a 2-page Rambo origin story told through flash photographs. If you watch Rambo 5, you can see some of those photographs in there.
Okay.
You can see some of those photographs. But anyway, he said, sadly, they didn't film any of that. Yeah. So I guess what they did on location was it. But you never know. Maybe Sly had some of those photographs that he used in Rambo 5. I'm guessing those are his real childhood photographs and stuff.
Maybe. As I'm saying, I can't remember with Rambo 5. I saw it once and I can't remember much about it now. But the last...
I know ICU has one coming out, right? Detox?
Oh, yeah.
Extended Detox?
I heard about that, like a Blu-ray with some behind the scenes. I forgot what's on it in regards to features, but I would say overall, Judge Dredd, because some of the backstory with that, the making of, and perhaps I mentioned one more. Shoot, why not Over the Top? Because it doesn't have a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I think that,
and there's a lot of great stories.
The Blu-ray is bare bones. The DVDs,
Yeah. There's a lot of great stories. If you go back and read some of those articles about Over the Top, about the making of the tournament, just how the movie got made. It was a female arm wrestler and another guy who got it done, and it was just so amazing. Like to see the first choice for Bull Hurley and everything like that. When they said that it wouldn't be believable for him to arm wrestle Stallone, but hey, he was I think even could have been maybe not as menacing, but I could believe Stallone might not be able to arm wrestle like that. He was actually in the movie. He was the big guy who was like, wow. He kind of looked like John Candy a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He died, though. Both of them died. Rick Summel but he was the original Bull Hurley.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, because I know he passed on.
Yeah.
But the last question from Action Fan 80, what are your thoughts on the scrapped Project Hunter where Sly plays the greatest tracker who is tasked by the government to hunt down a man-made monster. But again, this is... It looks like you're getting ready to share, like you want to say something. And I know this, again, these questions were asked back in May, so...
I've been working on this one for many years and a long, long time. We're going to do some pieces of it for a show called Alt Stallone, like alternate. Alt Stallone, we're going to do a read. James told me to read the ghost scene or shadows or ghost, I can't remember. When Hunter and the dog get chosen to go on the mission. We did a really extensive, 2.5 hour Q&A with James Byron Huggins. And that was the writer of the book. I've been actually working with him on a lot of stuff.
And he's the writer behind Hunter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're in talks to do like a Q&A like that with the fans, like contact all the fans can come on and talk. I'll post the link in the description below so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. But he wants to do that for all of his books. So.
But what's the word on Hunter? Because, I mean, I heard like Sly wants to do it. There was talk.
I don't know. If you watch Rambo 5, there's a little bit of Hunter in that intro. That deleted intro. Did you see the deleted intro?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. I'll send you that.
No, the last thing I heard, I mean, but that's the thing with Hunter is like, you know, we've been hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I mean,
I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty confident. If I had to bet money on it, I'd say get ready for some Hunter. Get ready for some Hunter, people. Get ready for some Hunter.
So
it's such a great book too. I don't know if it was actually written. It was tailor-made for Sly. Like James and Sly worked on it together, and it was tailored for Sly. So it has when you're reading it, when the news came out for Rambo 5, like later on, when they said they were going to do Savage Hunt, and then you read it, and then you're kind of like, you can see Rambo in it. Like, you can just see where it matches Rambo all the way. But,
it should have been Rambo 5.
Should have been.
Take that premise and put it into the 5th Rambo. If you had to make another Rambo,
yeah,
go that route.
I could buy the creature idea. Hope is known for the Hope Sasquatch, right? And apparently, on Sasquatch Chronicles, there was a encounter at the same time when they were filming the movie.
What's that?
A Bigfoot encounter.
I know Sasquatch Chronicles.
Yeah, Sasquatch Chronicles.
What is it?
I can't remember what episode. But
what is it, though? What is...
Oh, it's a show by Wes and Woody Germer where they have, like, people come on. Will Jevening used to be on it, and Shannon... Fuck, how am I forgetting her name? LeGros. Anyway, it was like a radio show where people call in and talk about their Bigfoot encounters, right? And one day this guy called on and he was like talking about his Bigfoot. It's on my show Terracast. We did like a little. Oh no, I don't think that episode's out yet. Anyway,
if you shoot me a link, I'll put it in a box.
Yeah, I wish I remembered the name of the episode, but this guy came on and said like he was working on that highway through Hope. To bring all the new access to the town, and he said he went up to like where the portal potties are, and when he came back out, something was tracking him. Like he would walk and it would walk, and he would stop and it would stop, and then he would walk some more and it kept on doing that kind of thing, and then it like walked out past him and walked off into the woods.
Man,
who knows if it's true, but. It's at the same time as First Blood was being filmed, and same place. And I think Mickey Cardone went out to the Sasquatch caves when he visited Hope. I think some of that stuff around the caves was actually filmed, was actually part of that. That area. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Hunter happens or not. So.
But I could totally see Rambo fighting a Bigfoot. Come on.
Or what kind of creature was it? It was like a...
It was a Homo scimitar, but it was like more of like an essence of primordial man. It's hard to describe really. But Mickey Rourke was the big choice on that one. It would have been Mickey Rourke.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like James actually talked about how, like the presence Mickey Rourke could have brought to it and everything like that, right? And he talked a lot about he talked a lot to me about like him meeting Stallone and how they did, how they worked on stuff behind the scenes for Hunter and the long processes of it. Yeah, like the interview we did was like a 13-hour interview.
Man.
Because it was just so much stuff, and then in the end we only used 2.5 hours of it. But there's a lot of stuff in there, can't really bring up. But I would say that's definitely a dream come true when that happens, because that's something I've been wanting to see forever.
But that's all the questions from Action Fan 80. Now on to Jack Craven.
Thank you, Action Fan.
So Jack Craven, if you're still watching,
yeah.
Here's to you, buddy. Big shout out to Jack Craven. Sending 4 questions. All right, each of these is kind of a paragraph, but here we go. Question number 1: If Stallone and Ted Kotchoff made their version of Soldier back in the day when it was titled The Base, after they made First Blood in 82 or 83, it seems like, okay, this is like a 3-part question. Okay, or a 2-part. So I'll get to the first. I'll do the first part. Okay, I'll start back over. If Stallone and Ted Kotchoff made their version of Soldier back when it was titled The Base, after they made First Blood in 1982 or 1983, what do you think and how different would it be from the Paul W.S. Anderson film? Like, would it be more of a dark, gritty action film like First Blood, or more of like an action sci-fi film like the 1998 film?
I'd like to see like a mixture of both, but no CGI, like all practical, straight practical. It's weird because you wonder, like, if Stallone would be the good guy or the bad guy, like who would play who and all that stuff. So yeah, that's another dream project. There's so many of these dream films that fuck, man, they should have happened. But that's definitely another one, I remember, like, I first saw Soldier, I think, on, like, when it came out on, like, pay-per-view or something like that, and I was, like, in love with that movie. I was like, this is such a great movie. And Kurt Russell played it so straight.
Yeah.
Like, so straight. Like, and so different than his other characters, He totally made it his own. I could have seen that going on for, like, 2 more movies.
Yes, it's quite a different character. Like, it's more...
Yeah.
Not a lot of dialogue. It's more with body language. And I like Soldier. Like, that's a film that a while back I was kind of met on, and then it grew on me.
Mm.
And I like the film.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what were you saying?
I love that film. Oh, that's a great film. That's a great film. And, like, it's like, I'm still thankful we got that film, but when Jack told me about this thing with Stallone being involved and everything, it just blew me away, because it's just one of those things that like oh my god, like, imagine if that would have happened. That would have been phenomenal.
So for those who don't know out there, Soldier had been in development since what? The early 80s.
Yeah, 82, 85, or 82 to 85, then 85 to 90. I think someone said there was one before that, but not. And then there was, like, the 98 one, right? The movie.
Yeah, the movie came out in 98.
Yeah.
And Jack finishes off by saying, also, just to clear something out, Clint Eastwood was involved to star in this after Stallone and Kochok left. So no, despite how awesome it would be to see him and Stallone in the same film, they were never involved in this one at the same time.
Mm. But imagine if they were, like, imagine, because I could totally buy that. I could totally buy 1982 Clint Eastwood as the Kurt Russell character, right? Todd, is it Todd? I forget. And I could see Stallone as the new evil, like the guy from the, I think it's from the Bruce Lee movie. I could totally see Stallone playing the bad guy in that. That could have been a good twist.
That would have been cool. They should have done a movie together though back in the day.
I think you mentioned somewhere also where Schwarzenegger was then attached at one point. And imagine that. Imagine Stallone and Schwarzenegger as their first movie together. That would have been insane.
Yeah, back around, 85 maybe?
Yeah. Lee Mackerel.
But the second question, another what-if question, and I think this is one more for Matt, because he knows more about this film. If Stallone and Russell Mulcahy somehow put their, shall we say, artistic differences aside, and if the movie somehow managed to get large enough budget and keep the original story, and more of an epic version of the screenplay with even bigger action set pieces, which would take place on mountains, sandstorms, avalanches, how different would Rambo 3 turn out to be? And do you think it would have been better and more of a successful film? Even though all of us fans agreed there's nothing wrong with the film, we got.
This is an 8-hour question. It's like how I was saying with Rambo 5, you know, how they only used 20%.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but it's 20% done right. Like the way the film we got, I think, considering at the last minute they were fucked, the film still came out great and it was beautiful, and it beats any action movie today.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of an action movie today than any what you could name a movie today. Comic wise, Rambo 3 is more of a pure action film. Rambo 3 is more pure period than any movie today.
Yeah, Rambo 3 is pretty good. I watched some fucking Rambo 3 on my Oculus Quest last night, and that fucking blew me away. That fucking just blew the shit out of me.
Fuck 'em.
That was fuck 'em, exactly. I watched that scene where, like, the helicopter's first attack when he's on the horse. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. People out there, get a Quest and watch your favorite movies. It's like the best way to watch what you love. Trust me on this one. Trust me. I watched a couple of John's videos last night on here on the Quest, and it was amazing. It was like John was the size of a building. It was cool. But Rambo 3, man, that's such a special movie. I remember seeing that for the first time, and at the end with the tank and the helicopter, I was like, okay, that's it. Rambo's dead. There's no way he's walking out of that one. It was so good. But in differences, you know, like, we did an episode on that too, on a couple of differences. But, like, at the end, Rambo's riding the horse, and he jumps over a cliff thing, and Zyson's on, like, a tank carrier underneath him, and he kind of, like, takes out the knife and fucking flips around, whips it, and staples Zyson's head to the seat.
Yeah.
And then crashes the horse down the fucking mountain, and the horse lands on him and gets all fucked up. I think the horse lands on him. And then Kurov comes over. Also from Over the Top, Mad Dog. He comes over, and Rambo is defenseless. And he pretty much says, like, hey, thank you for doing that for me. Because, you know, Zyson was trying to get him to, like, roll tanks over lines of children and stuff like that. So they have this camaraderie, which I thought was pretty cool at the end. You know, because Kurov kind of felt like the evil Rambo in a way.
Yeah.
But it was really, really cool. Like the avalanche scene. They get past the snow line and Rambo starts an avalanche to take out bad guys, and he's running around, and it's insane. It's insane. There's some other scenes I don't remember if they're in that version, but there's scenes where like sandstorms come and him and Musa get caught under sandstorm with the horses, and Rambo has to like put a blanket over him, but the sand is so strong that he can't breathe, so he takes the knife and he starts cutting himself out of the blanket and digging himself out of the fucking sandstorm. And then when he gets out of there, he like has to go find his horse. His horse is like under like a pile of sand. He has to fucking dig the horse out. Somewhere around there, Griggs dies. Griggs gets blown to shit. And then Rambo has Kurov's gun, actually. The gun he gets at the end. And he fucking takes out fucking helicopters. And you find out, like, Hamid, the boy, was actually a girl. And they think that, Rambo was behind this whole thing. So the Mujahideen tie him up, his arms, and they try to pull him apart with horses. They try to rip him in half. So he's like, his sinews are all popping, and he's like trying to pull the horses together. There's some crazy scenes in that. And I don't know if it's in that version also where Sison pours acid over a kid to get Traubman to talk. And when Traubman's like, no, I'm not telling you anything, he's like, okay. He leaves and he comes back with the kid and then fucking pours acid all over him. I'm not sure if Morville added that or if that was in there. There's another scene I want to bring up. I just can't remember what it is. It's like such a staple scene. But there's some really good stuff in that one that they took it. Like no joke. They were calling it Rambo of Arabia at one point because there was so many characters and so many different things going on. Oh, like Musa, I think in that version. Wait, is it that version or the other version? I think I got that mixed up. I think it's the other version.
Okay.
The ending with Rambo and Kurov with the horse, I think, is different. Because I think Kurov in that one... Jack, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Kurov gets blown up by Musa. Musa has a grenade or something like that, and he jumps on Kurov, and they both blow themselves up. I might be getting this crossed, because I haven't read that one in a while, but... Fantastic. Go out and get the audiobook for Rambo 3 by David Morrell, and you'll see it's like pretty...
There's more to it.
A lot, yeah. A lot.
But a great question, though. Question number 3. Imagine this. A little bit of alternate history, if you will. You're in charge of Carrico back in 89 or 1990, and you are given a choice of making either Universal Soldier and Cliffhanger or Gale Force and Isobar.
Fuck.
Which one would you choose and why? Keep in mind, you don't know which of these would have been better or more successful and whatnot, and the other 2 films you didn't choose will never be made. This also means that you can make either one film with Stallone and one with Van Damme and Lundgren, or 2 films with Stallone, who was a much bigger star at the time and more profitable. So Universal Soldier and Cliffhanger, yeah, or...
That's a hard choice because Cliffhanger, that's a great fucking movie. That's up there, right? That's one of the best. One of the best. But theoretically, if I could go back in time, I would say, fuck it, do Gale Force and Isobar, just so I could have that experience of both.
I would love to see... I love Universal Soldier and Cliffhanger, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to have seen Gale Force because I would like to have seen that plot. Mm-hmm. You can almost say like Van Damme could have played in that, and I just would have had definitely Isobar, 100%, Stallone, a Stallone vehicle, because I think he should have had a creature feature.
Yeah, they could have probably threw Lundgren and what's his name in there, and Van Damme in there.
Yeah.
You know, they had another character in there who was a lot like Canet in Gale Force. They could probably have done that. I think that could have worked. You know, there's some really great scenes in that one too. My favorite scene in that is the town is flooding, and Stallone like runs. He's running through the alleys and stuff. He just suited up, and he took down like this guy who found out he was back in town who wants revenge. And he kind of like put him on the side, and he suited up and he goes out to take on the bad guys. And he's coming. He like rounds a corner through an alleyway or something like that. And to make a long story short, someone shoots a fucking RPG at him and blows up a building right beside him, and a piece of wood goes through Stallone's face, like, bam! And he's like, he can't get away fast enough because he's up to his waist in water. And he pulls the fucking wood out of his face. I was like, that's a great fucking scene. That would have been cool. There's a lot of great scenes in that one.
Yeah, Gale Force, if people don't know the history, like, Gale Force was a Stallone film that was unproduced, never happened. It was going to happen almost, which was pretty much like what Die Hard in a Hurricane type of movie. Yeah. And then Isobar was going to be like Stallone's creature feature. But if you want to look,
that was cool too.
That
was really cool too.
If you're not, for those out there who are not, don't know much about those, definitely look those up, the history. That's a great question, though.
I just bought Tales from Development Hell. Pretty awesome. There's a whole Isobar chapter in that, so I might be doing that one for all Stallone. Also with Neil Ross from Rambo from The Force of Freedom sent me a book to read all the Rambo stuff out of. So I think that's coming Tuesday. So it's like a written Q&A between me and Neil Ross, and then Neil supplied us with 500 pages of notes. So be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be pretty cool. Neil's really thank you, Neil. Thank you, Jack.
Oh, we got one more question from Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's back. But here's the final question with Jack. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, video game movie adaptations were really starting to get made or were just being developed. Are there some video games which you think would have been great movies if Stallone would have started them back in those days? It doesn't matter if you want to include some which did get made into films. The only problem with this is you have to keep in mind that you can't possibly know would these be good, like, let's say, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
Yeah, I hear that. I don't know. I'm always gonna dream of what could have been like a Contra movie with him, Arnold. Yeah, I'm always gonna wonder about that. And I would say now, like, do it now, like, even do it, like, even as an anime film or like a video game. Make it like a fucking VR video game.
Yeah, like a CG, maybe animated.
Yeah, they could do it. I played fucking Rocky the other night with fucking the Creed Rise to Victory or Glory or something like that, where you get to fight, Clubber and Apollo and Drago and Rocky and Ivan Jr. and stuff like that. So they could do it. They could totally do it.
Exactly. You could do Contra. How about that?
Yeah.
So that probably been... you took the words right out of my mouth when you mentioned Contra, so...
That would be amazing. And I'd do it like, do it in VR or something, like where you could get in the action and hang out with fucking... You could go on a mission with Arnold and fly. That would be even amazing.
And you know what? Actually, if there was somehow, some way we can erase Escape Plan and make them do Contra...
I would do it. Even though I'm like probably the only person on the planet who loves Escape Plan 2 and 3 and doesn't like Escape Plan 1. But yeah, I would totally make that trade. I would get rid of the whole trilogy and say, okay, do Contra.
But that's all the questions Jack sent.
Thank you, Jack.
And let's see. Okay, we got 4 questions from Junebug Films, aka Ty. Question number 1: Cobra going after a character that's based on Allison Mack. I'm going after the sex cult she was a part of. I guess thoughts.
Whew. Maybe Robert Rodriguez can write that into the new Cobra TV show coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Zombie Squad. Fucking Cobra brands Allison Mack.
Yeah. I don't know. Would you be down for that though?
I would so watch. I would so watch anything with Cobra. Anything with Cobra.
Have Allison Mack as like the villain. I don't know.
Isn't that horrible? Like, I can't believe they did that to people. Like, I can't. The psychological stuff they were doing, the branding. How sick do you gotta be? Like, she knew right from wrong. She was on Smallville. Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't get it, man. Stupidity.
Yeah. I don't want to get mad in a biblical place.
In a biblical place.
But, yeah, like, horrible. Horrible.
But I don't know. I don't know about that. But, question number 2. What did you think about Sly as a villain for a Time Cop 3? But it was, I mean, I know they did a Time Cop 2 with no Van Damme. But
is that a thing?
Do what?
Sly was gonna be in Time Cop 3?
Well, he's asking, like, I guess if there was a Time Cop 3 with Van Damme and Jason Scott Lee, would you, what if Sly was the villain, what would you think about that?
I can see it. But the thing with Sly is, you gotta get the Sly that's...
Not Spy Kids 3 Sly.
Yeah, you gotta get the Sly who's not trying to... Like the ego Sly. You need more of the Sly, like... You need, like, the Sly from First Blood for that. Or you would need, like, a darker version of Sly. You know, like when Tommy fucking punches Paulie out in the bar and Rocky gets up and he fucking turns around and you see that darkness?
Yeah.
You finally brought me to my knees. That, like, you're gonna fucking get it now. You need that kind of Sly. You need a fucking mean-ass Sly, like, mixed with a little bit of, like, Get Carter.
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Get Carter, too, that's another one that had an amazing alternate ending with him shooting Mickey Rourke at point-blank range and fucking...
I haven't seen that one.
Shoots him like so hard that his body catches on fire.
Yeah, I need to watch Get Carter. I think I have it somewhere.
Oh, it's good. The elevator scene is amazing, and the rooftop scene. I can't watch the rooftop scene without crying because it's so powerful. It's such a powerful scene.
Man.
It's like he should have got an award for that. Like, that's up there with the First Blood ending.
Yeah, I have to watch it, man. That's the one Stallone film I haven't seen yet. I don't know why.
It's pretty good.
But the third question is, what do you think about Sly playing truly evil villains? No cartoony villains. I mean somebody that you really just hate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you have to get a Sly that, like not even a Machine Gun Joe, but just, like, a really just suited in, those shark eyes, just like, he doesn't care. He's going to kill you no matter what.
I almost say, like, maybe Stallone should try to... I keep thinking of, like, I don't want to... How can I say this? I see what Sandler, with this new movie, Uncut Gems. it's like, okay, he's trying something different. Maybe that's what Stallone should do, is try something different.
Yeah, why not?
Try a hand at playing more, maybe like a villain. If it's one
He was good
time,
in that mob guy, wasn't he? Scarpa? Who got his
yeah.
eye shot out? You know, that guy?
It's like I look at, like, I don't like bullets to the head much, but I can see where, okay,
Yeah.
Stallone's not the problem in that, but I could see that character maybe if you played it like that as a villain for something,
Yeah.
that kind of acting.
Yeah. I love Jason Momoa in that. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah, Stallone's
I'm
not.
getting ready to watch The Bad Batch. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. The Bad Batch. That's the team that's working on the new fucking cliffhanger. The new cliffhanger reboot. That was teased to cross over with The Expendables. But, yeah. Lily Amirpour, and Jason Momoa. And they're both attached to cliffhanger, so.
I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want to see a cliffhanger reboot. I'm sorry. I may be
Well,
alone,
I'm
but
base my decision on how good this other movie is. I want to see how good they do in it. 'Cause I've watched things around it, and I've watched that director talk about it, and I'm like, whoa. If the movie is as good as they make it sound, I think Cliffhanger has a shot. But, it's another thing where it's like, I don't want them to reboot it. If they're going to do it, make it a sequel.
yeah.
I want Sly in it to some extent. Because Cliffhanger had some really good alternate scripts and sequel ideas. Like, really, really good ones. And
I'll say this. I hope a reboot does not happen. And if they decide to do it, and in the first 5 minutes, they have a death scene where Stallone character falls to his death, like in Cliffhanger, that's what I would say.
yeah, they'll make it so he'll die so stupidly.
Like copy the original film, but this time Gabe dies. I
You'd
would
be like,
say eat that.
he wouldn't have died like that, But yeah, I could see them doing that. I can make them.
Well, here you go, Matt. They kill off Luke Skywalker. They kill off Han Solo. They kill off John Connor in Dark Fate. One more characters have to be sacrificed. I killed, but
at this rate, all of them.
yeah,
They're all going somewhere.
That's their that's their end game.
Yeah.
But the last question from Junebug, Ty. There's questions more all action. Let's see. Let me go back. There's questions more all action star Sly. If they made Planet of the Apes movie, the one directed by Tim Burton, and they did not use Marky Mark, would you like to see a star in it? I don't know if he's missing a couple of words.
Even though an ape would rip Stallone in half, I'd still buy him fighting an ape over Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Because Mark Wahlberg just looks like, wires, especially back then, but that's another great one. That's another great, a lot of people didn't like that movie. I thought that was pretty good. Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I'm looking into this Edward Scissorhands 2 right now. I'm looking into that. I just did Alien versus Terminator versus Predator. That's coming soon. That should be out sometime soon. And Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, part 1 of just two movies, but doing the first one because it was Friday the 13th recently and Christmas time, and it's a Christmas movie. So I think that's coming out Tuesday. But where was I going with that? Yeah, Edward Scissorhands 2. I'm looking into that right now, and I'm looking into this whole Tim Burton DC universe thing, like 10 different movies that he was connected to. I'm looking into that right now, which is pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool.
I don't know how to answer the question. I mean, because I'm not a fan of Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure.
It's a slow burn.
I would like to see Stallone beat the shit out of some apes, but
Cornelius. Charleston Heston.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck him.
But that's all the questions from Ty. Thank you once again,
I
Ty.
want to see Stallone fight that monkey from that movie with David Mendenhall, with the kid from...
Oh, going bananas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the
I
one?
want to see Sly fight that monkey.
Yeah.
They had the monkey from fucking the Clint Eastwood movie, and they brought him in, and like one of the canon guys was like asking the secretary if she would bang the monkey, and the monkey bit the kid, and then they're like, okay, fuck it, no monkey. That fucking monkey at it.
I've heard about that movie. I've never seen it.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I can get through with it. I don't know if I can get through with that movie. But the next set of questions is from Chaz4543. He's got 4 questions. Question number 1. Interesting question. Where is the uncut footage from Demolition Man, such as the fight between Sly and Jesse Ventura? Is it lost forever?
You can see some of that, I think, on Jack's page. Jack has some cool stuff in there on Demolition Man. He has a lot of really cool stuff. And then they talk about it on Entertainment Tonight, Jesse Ventura and Sly. And that was such a big ripoff, too, because he was like, oh, if you want to see the fight between me and Stallone, you're going to have to pay your ticket, right? Then we all paid our ticket and we didn't get it.
And this is back in the day featurette interview, right?
Yeah. And Rhino told me all of it was filmed. Rhino told me they had jokes, that they were joking on set that they were going to clone take matter from all the dead Cryocons and Wesley Snipes and reclone Wesley Snipes for the sequel. And then I heard, stuff was put together with like Glenn Close, I think. Catherine something. It sucks that I'm forgetting her name right now. Her character's name is Catherine, John's daughter. You can follow that whole arc. She's actually in the film. She's, you see her in the underground. They had more of that they took out. That's how Sly changes his clothes so fast at the end back to the Demolition Man, because she, hands him over his stuff that she kept for him. And that scene and all those other scenes you can find on the DC Comics. Yeah, the DC Comics 5-volume set for Demolition Man. And you can see the fight between Stallone and Jesse Ventura. If you go on our page on archive.org, there's stills from that, and we walk you through the scene. We read the book to the audience and show you the panels and stuff. But you can see that over there. And I think there's some in the novelization. There's some more Jesse Ventura also. Because we're trying to put together all the Catherine scenes from the book right now. Because there's more than what there is in the comic book. And, yeah.
It would have been great to see that fight. I don't know why why was it cut from the movie? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. There was more, too. There was, that. There was a whole fight with all the underground people and all the cryocons got taken out. Jack Black on his IMDb said that he was scheduled to film that day, and it was the only day that he decided to fuck around and not come in or something like that, or come in late, and he didn't get to film his fight scene. But comic books, check out the comic. You'll see Rhino Ryan Michaels, amazing stuntman, worked for Steven Seagal for many years. Great guy. You'll see him in there. As Elvin, Stallone takes him out. Stallone's coming around the corner, and he's like, and then Rhino says something, and then Stallone kind of he's like, what the hell? And he turns around and goes, Elvin, is that you? And he's like, yeah. And he turns around, boom, and blows him away and goes, I thought so. And then when Jesse comes up behind him and fucking grabs him, and they're struggling, and Jesse's strangling Sly to death, and Sly pulls out the gun, and he's trying to get the gun, he's trying to shoot fucking Jesse Ventura and just like, give me that gun or whatever. And Stallone's like, you want it? Take it. And he fucking jams it into his fucking head, into his jaw, and he fucking blows his fucking top of his face off. Boom! Pretty cool.
Damn, I didn't... Okay.
Yeah, there's another scene where, like, one I really would have wanted to see in there where Sly, when everything's freezing, and Sly goes to hit Wesley Snipes, and he cuts himself, and his blood starts spraying out all over the place, and it freezes in midair, and it turns into, like, a blade, and he turns around, and he's like, whack, and he hits him, and he fucking punches his face in, like, punches Wesley's whole face in.
Man.
That's pretty cool, too. They took a lot of stuff out of there. But Jack has some really great stuff. Go see Jack's channel. He's an amazing Cobra videos, too, up there.
The second question is, why do you think Rocky V gets hated on? Me personally, I like it more than Rocky Balboa.
It's my two favorite Rocky movies are Rocky II and Rocky V. I got to see, I went with my mom to see Rocky V in the theater. It was the first time I saw a Rocky movie. I guess I was 11. Well, not a Rocky movie, but first time I got to see a Rocky movie in the theater. And, wow, it held a special place in my heart. And just that whole ending, like not knowing what was going to happen, and then the ending happening the way it did, I was like, this is amazing. This is such an amazing... And it was actually written very dark. Like, if you go online and type in Rocky V or Rocky versus the Final Bell or something like that, you can find the script for it. And it's way, way, way darker. Like, supremely dark. Like, if they would have made that movie, that's not a family movie. You know, there's scenes where, like, Rocky, the street fight happens because they have a fight in a hotel. And Tommy's like, you know, there was this whole thing that happened with you putting Union King in the hospital and everything. And they made it sound like, you know, Rocky was teaching him to be like this abusive fighter. And Union almost dies. So Rocky's by the bed, you know, talking to Union. And then he's like, okay, this stops now. And he goes to Tommy, who's celebrating, Tommy has 2 escorts on him.
Yeah.
And it's like, Rock, you know, since seeing how Adrian's not around, you want to take one of these for a spin, and Rocky they start getting into it. And Tommy's like, you know, I would have taken you anytime or something like that, and taken you, what was that, I would have beat you anytime. It's just something weird like that, and then Sly turns around and says something like, you know, like pretty much the gloves are off, like, let's go, and then they fight in the fucking hotel, throwing each other through ice statues and fucking fight through the kitchen, out into the alley, down the street, fucking, it's insane. The only thing that I think that's omitted from that is the death of Rocky at the end. There was a mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like Rocky V.
Was at the steps. Like, on the way home, walking home from the fight, he was supposed to die on the steps. I'm pretty sure there's a page from that on one of the Rocky documentaries when the director, King of the Underdogs, when he's talking about that scene, and you see a flash of, like, Rocky in the street, and his head kind of turns a different way, and then they show, like, the last page, and it says something like, you know, like, Rocky looks up at Adrian's, like, holding him, and they're on the steps, and then he, like, looks at her, and his last words are, yo. He's all spaced out, he looks at her like, yo, dead.
Man.
I gotta find that document, I'll send that to you. That's pretty, it's one page, but you gotta pause it, like, right when it comes on the screen, you gotta pause it, or else you're gonna miss it. It's like, poof.
Yeah, I don't mind, like, I mean, with Rocky Balboa, I could watch Rocky V. I mean, it's not my favorite, but, you know, I could still watch it as, like, a, how can I say it, like a decent time waster.
Yeah. I just love it because it's so different. It's so, like, You know, why not go there? Everyone's all mad. Oh, he doesn't go in the ring, but like, fuck it, man. They had other plans for that movie. That movie wasn't supposed to be the movie that we got. That movie was supposed to be a completely different. It like the main things are there, but there's so many things going on behind it, and you can kind of see it if you look at like the directors, the work print version, because they leave in a lot more of Sly's Rocky's brain damage that they took out.
Yeah.
Like people think that, you know, Sly was hamming it up, but originally Sly went really crazy with the brain damage, like super, super crazy. And a lot of the way it was written too was just super, super crazy. I think Mike Hundo was saying, from the Yo Philly film tour, he was saying that at the end, and that was supposed to cut away to Adrian giving us a speech at the statue. And then it was supposed to intercut with, you know, the first Rocky with the thing in the air.
I still have to check out that work print.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
I'm going to mail that to you. I got two of them.
Alrighty.
I'm going to mail that to you. Don't let me forget about that. The street fight's amazing too. The alternate cut of the street fight is fucking insane. Insane. And he does like a lot of stuff like he starts talking to Paulie like Paulie's Mickey all the time. And Paulie like looks at him and says, "Hey, why do you call me Mick? The guy's in the box." And it takes him a minute to realize that, you know, that Paulie is Paulie.
Yeah.
Just really, really, really great scenes like that in there.
Man.
Yeah.
But the third question is, Wikipedia says Avenging Angelo is released by Warner Brothers, so do you know why it did not get a wide release?
You know what I really want to know more than that? Is why I agreed to watch that fucking movie.
I have not seen Avenging Angelo, but from the stuff I've heard about it,
I have one thing to say. One word. It sums up the whole movie.
What?
Squirrels. That's all I'll say. Leave it for you to discover on your own. Yeah, it, like, as a one-time, you know, like, you're going to watch it one time and that's it. Yeah, I can do that. But, you know, that's a bad one.
I've never seen it, and someday maybe I'll watch it just to bite the bullet, but yeah, I'll just wait for now. So, but I'm not sure about, you know, I don't know how to answer your question. I haven't seen the film yet. But the last question is, what do you think they could have changed in Judge Dredd so it could have been a hit?
They could have left in the death of Fergie. That's another episode I got coming up where they do where Fergie died. I think it was like that in the comic book too. I think they killed him in the comic, or the you know, like those read along books.
Yeah.
I think they did it in that one too. But I think, you know, that would have been cool.
Maybe.
I honestly, I would have just liked to see them do all that other stuff around it. Maybe like an anime show or something, like a kids TV show or something, because they Judge Dredd is a weird one because it goes like in real time. So the Judge Dredd from 1976 is still the Judge Dredd from, I think it's 76. It's still the Judge Dredd today.
Yeah.
You know, so that was cool because they rebuilt the whole universe around Stallone. Like, the entire universe was rebuilt around Stallone. And it went for a pretty long run. And it was cool because that's one of the very, very few times you're ever going to see that kind of thing happen. And, you got to see some pretty fucking awesome things in there. You got to see fucking Sly fight a fucking T-Rex. So Sly got the square off against Judge Death. You know, all these classic characters. and it kind of reminded me of Cobra in a lot of ways. It was kind of reminded me of how Carl Urban played Dredd in a weird way, and Stallone was written as such an asshole through the whole thing. Like, such an asshole.
Never take off the mask. That's one thing they should have kept. I think one thing I would have someone else play the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Armand Assante is, he's probably better in other movies for my taste. I probably would have had more of like a bigger name.
I had a theory on that too, but in the comic book there's one issue, the movie issue, where he takes off the helmet, and the rest of the time he has the helmet on. He does not take. The only time the helmet comes off is when he gets shot in the face and they have to take out his eyes, and they give him bionic implant eyes, which goes back to the whole thing, right? They do a lot of those little things that connect it to the other Judge Dredd universe and things like that. But my play on that was, it should have been their clones. It should have been Stallone playing the top guy there, the old man. He should have been in makeup playing the old man. He should have been himself, and he should have been playing his brother's character, Armand Assan's character. He should have been playing all three of them, and even the fucking clone. Like those half-made clones, he should have been playing those too.
Or there should have been a fight with them, because we never did get those fights, right?
I think on Jack's page you can see some of that. I think I might be wrong.
Judge Dredd taking on the clones.
Yeah, he sent some notes to me with Stallone fighting the clones with a gun at like point blank range and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you, Jack.
I just thought of another thing, because I think originally Joe Pesci was going to play Rob Schneider's character. So
could you imagine that?
Yeah. So I mean, so that could have brought you in more, box office if you're looking for that. So don't remove the helmet. I probably would have had a different villain. Probably would have had Stallone, Judge Dredd, have him fight the clones at the end. Don't hold back on it.
Oh, before we were talking about Isobar, and I forgot to say, there's a lot of amazing things we can say about Isobar. But I would say, if you want your Isobar, if you need your Isobar, if this intrigues you, which it should, because I won't give it away, but there's spin-off plausibilities in there with a couple of different movies, Alien and Species. But Pyramid Head on YouTube has the best Isobar video of all fucking time. Like, this video he did for Isobar is so good. You literally have to see it. I can't do it any justice by talking about it, but you gotta see it to believe it, because you'll come away completely. If you don't know anything about Isobar, you're gonna come away completely changed. Like, this is gonna fucking rework your brain. So
shout out to Pyramid.
Yeah, and check that out, because that's. Oh my god, he's got some fucking crazy. The Punisher 2 video. Oh my god, he's got. Okay, I'll stop now because I'm gonna go on like a 45-minute.
Are you good?
Pyramid deep dive.
That's a great channel. Go check out Pyramid Head if you haven't seen his content.
Oh yeah.
But thank you, Chaz, for the questions.
Thank you.
So we've got 4 questions from DJ, and then after that, 1 question from somebody, and that'll be a wrap. Question number one from DJ Donnelly. How did you guys become Stallone fans? Like, how did you both discover them?
You want to go first?
I'm trying to think of the first. I would say definitely First Blood. Like, that's the one that really got me into, because I had watched it on TV, and my dad's like, yeah, I saw this back when I was in high school. I mean, of course, I think at that time I had seen a couple of the Rockies, but, First Blood, and then, discovering more of Stallone's work, thanks to people up here. I mean, people on YouTube, whether it be you and, guys like Rambo for Life and OCP and guys that told me about films like Cobra and Lockup and, you know, Cliffhanger and all this. And to shorten it, First Blood definitely got me into Stallone. I would say that's the one film, and that's how I, you know, got more into his films eventually, and then became a fan.
That's awesome.
And he's my number one. He's my favorite actor of all time. As of late, didn't care for Creed 2, don't care for Rambo 5. I'm still a fan because I'm still a fan of his early work, and he is a legend. So, but you go, because I know you're more...
that's really cool. Like, yeah, it's so awesome to see how Sly has touched so many different people around the world. You know, I was 7. I think I was 7. It was like 1986, 87, somewhere around there when I saw it. And
so you were lucky. Like, you probably got to see. You mentioned, you know, Rocky 5 even. Like Rocky 5 in the theater. You saw Demolition Man in the theater, right?
Yeah.
So you're lucky that you get to see these movies like back in the day, and we get shit now.
I remember going to see Demolition Man and thinking that was like the tipping point to where Stallone was not going to do anything great anymore. I remember being like that for that film, and then totally having my mind blown later on, you know? But it's weird. It's weird. Like, I feel like I'm old when I look back. I turned 40 yesterday, and I feel like I'm like fucking... When I look back at some of these movies, I feel really old, and see how I thought about things then and how I think about them now. I try to always look for the positive things in movies. The first one I saw was First Blood, and I was 7. I think 7. 6 or 7. And the movie scared the fucking shit out of me. Just fucking terrifying. I was at my sister's house, and at home I wasn't allowed to watch anything, right? But she would let me watch whatever I want. So I watched, like, I think we watched that, and we watched, like, A Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that, and I was fucking freaked out for, like, a month. But I remember thinking that Rambo was the bad guy. I remember feeling like every time I watched him, like he was an animal, like he wasn't even human. In my mind, I was thinking, this guy is like a fucking like I couldn't see the human in him until like later on, you know. I remember when fucking Gulp falls on the rocks, and when he picked him up and he was looking at that, fucking scarred me. When Stephen Chang cuts him across the chest, that blew me away. And until I met Stephen Chang, I was fucking terrified of him. Like, I was terrified. Like, he was like a nightmare figure. Like the fucking Morkin in a Never-Ending Story to me. But he turned out to be like the fucking nicest guy in the world. But so, you know, the sewing scene when he's sewing his arm and all that, I just couldn't take my eyes off of it, and it just took me for such a fucking ride. I'd never seen anything like that before. And then at the end, how everything is gloomy through the whole movie, and then at the end that speech, and I was just like, and that ending, and I was like, oh my God, it changed my whole life. Like, it literally changed my whole life watching that movie. And then the second one I saw was Rocky III. My brother rented it, and I looked at the VHS cover, and I was like, is that Rambo guy?
Yeah. The only thing I would say is that I feel bad is I didn't discover like some of these sooner.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like in the last 10, 12 years. Do what?
But after that, I was like, I gotta see them all, you know. But I'm also in Quebec, so like a lot of our video stores don't have English copies of stuff, right? So like Rocky 1, I didn't see Rocky 1 until I was like 15. Like Rocky 2, it was like, after I saw Rocky 3 was the first one I saw, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I went out and I rented Rocky 2 because I couldn't get Rocky 1, and Rocky 2 was just like such a different movie, and it just took me through this whole fucking trip. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It didn't dawn on me as a kid to go to another video store, try and find it. But yeah, I only saw Rocky 1 like way later on. And then, Rambo 2. I think we rented Rambo 2 the weekend after I saw First Blood. Somewhere around there.
Now, if you were to ask me my favorite Stallone movie, it's got to be probably Demolition Man or, but as far as like being the first, discovering more Stallone, definitely First Blood is one of the first that I saw, so. But always a fan, so. That's my answer.
I gotta thank Sly because he led me to you.
Yeah.
Led me to you. He led me to so many like great people. It totally changed my life. Totally changed my life.
That's a great question, though.
Yes, thank you.
Second question is, what would be an interesting team up for Stallone? Like, what actors or actresses would you guys like to see him work with, and why?
I heard about this. Who told me this?
Definitely Arnold
So,
in a better movie.
Did you see that Marlon Brando Rambo 3 thing?
No, I didn't see that.
That was pretty fucking crazy. That there's an auction letter that went out to fucking Brando with one of the original scripts for him to be the villain. Yeah. I think Jack. Was it Jack? I think it was Jack. Was telling me the other day about Cynthia Rothrock's Stallone movie. I really want to see that. I would. She's another really sweet person. I'd really love to see her and Sly get it on. Trade punches and then team up and take on the bad guys.
Stallone, Jackie Chan. Why didn't that happen?
Yeah.
They're best friends apparently, and they were going to make a movie, but that got switched. Now it's supposed to be John Cena and Jackie Chan. I'm like, fuck that.
Well, they did Burn Hollywood Burn together. That was good.
Yeah.
But
haven't seen that.
That's another version of Rambo 4 that I would have loved to see. Jackie Chan and Stallone. Like, wow.
Or like, thinking. Of course, I would say Sly and Arnold in a better movie.
Yeah.
Trying to think at least one more. Maybe Stallone and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that would work.
Maybe,
that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe you could have Bruce as a villain, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I kind of get like a little bit like hint of that chemistry in Expendables 2, like in that scene where they talk on the airplane. I'm like, I wonder what Bruce would Bruce do as a villain? Pitted against Stallone. That would be interesting. So, give me that fight.
Yeah.
But
I watched a good one with Bruce Willis a couple of months ago too. Right around the time we did our last podcast. I wanted to talk to you about it, but I forgot. It was Once Upon a Time in Venice or something like that?
I haven't seen that.
That was a good Bruce Willis movie.
I got Death Wish, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, they filmed some of that here, I heard.
Huh.
I talked to one of the casting agents who did Home Alone, and he said that Home Alone a lot of it was filmed in Montreal, and that the new one is being filmed in Montreal as well.
Well, they don't need to make it. Cancel it. Cancel the reboot.
Yeah.
Don't need it. But the third question is, what's your favorite Stallone movie quote or one-liner?
Damn.
Probably any line from Cobra.
I like when I think about Stallone, the quote about him that I love the most is Richard Crenna that they took out of First Blood, but you can see it in those Herb Adia videos where Teasel's still trying to talk Troutman down about Rambo.
Yeah.
And Troutman turns around and goes, "That boy's a heart attack." I love that one. I think Stallone quote, you know what I really like is like when fucking Podofsky is like just telling Rambo like pretty much telling him like, you know, you're fucked. You've already been here. You're fucked. Like when no one, you're done, right? And like just tell them that if they keep going, it's just gonna be the same thing. And he looks up at him and he's like, "Fuck you." That's like my favorite one, where Podolsky's pretty much like, you know, like make a radio call, tell them that you've been captured for espionage activity, and you know someone else will be met with the same fate as yours, and he just looks at him and says, "Fuck you."
Or I'm Murdoch, I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
I mean that's gotta be.
Yeah. And fuck 'em is good.
Fuck 'em, yeah, from Rambo 3. He has some great lines in Demolition Man.
Yeah. You know what was cool too is like going back and reading those old scripts. Like, I think one of them, I might be wrong on this one, but one of them I think was the Van Damme Seagal one. The one that we did on when we talked to Wild Man Beyond. We did it a long time ago. It was weird to read Seagal lines that Stallone said later on, like, "Put me back in the fridge."
Yeah.
That was a Seagal line. Or made for Seagal.
Yeah, this was an alternate script. So, for people that don't know, this was an alternate script for Demolition Man.
Mm-hmm.
Which was going to star Van Damme and Seagal. Think about that. Now, who's going to play the villain?
Yeah.
Seagal was going to be the villain, is that right?
No, Seagal was the Demolition Man. Wade, the Demolition Man.
Wade.
And Van Damme was, he was a French character. It had a French name in it. I can't remember. Really Quebecois name. Yeah. Yeah, there's a really cool scene in there where, like, Van Damme goes hunting for fucking the Demolition Man in the cryo pit.
Someday I want to revisit that topic. Because it's been a while.
Yeah, and he goes in and he fucking fucks up all the machines, so, like, people start coming out of... All the convicts start coming out of the cryostasis.
Yeah.
But they're not thawed or anything, so they come out and then all of a sudden, like, their leg will fall off or their arm will fall off and like... like T-1000 when he's like... When he's looking... like, his hand's broken off. Like that. And then Van Damme's just, like, looking through all the fucking mass of blood and bones and fucking stuff looking for Steven Seagal. I thought that was a fucking wicked scene. That was a really great script. That was... Wow. They could still do that movie today.
I don't know about Seagal now, because Seagal would not get in shape for that. He would probably...
It would be like the Demolition Man.
Where's the taco? Where's the Taco Bell?
Yeah. I need a poutine.
I need 10 enchiladas.
God damn.
But anyway, sorry we got away from that. But question number 4, the final question from DJ. How would you guys make a sequel to Tango and Cash?
I think I said it when we did the Wild Man Beyond one also, was I'd love to see them, like, in charge of their own unit where they go around, fight police corruption to make sure no other cops fall prey to the things that they had to deal with.
I like that.
Yeah, like driving around in the truck and stuff. And, like, dealing with Owen all the time and, like, things like that. Like a buddy cop James Bond cop movie, you know. Maybe have, like people filming them, like a fucking reality show, like walking around.
Yeah.
That would be fucking cool. Like a found footage Tango and Cash.
Maybe
documentary.
Have it come out around 1991, 1992, right before Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was thinking about who would you have as a villain?
We can get Jackie Chan in there.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this guy jumping off a building? like, like Ray would be talking or something like that, like with his newspaper. You see like fucking Jackie Chan jump across a building in the back.
Yeah, because he originally wasn't Jackie Chan. They wanted him for Demolition Man to be the villain, but he was.
I know.
He turned it down.
I know it was Rambo, but yeah, possibly, yeah. I think they had a thing on that when they were talking about Gale Force and Rambo 4 connection also at that point. So yeah, that's very much plausible. I think there's an article on that.
Yeah, Jackie Chan, I think at the time, he didn't want to play... I think he still doesn't want to play villain roles. So, I mean, villain characters. So...
I know Jack sent me an article from the Demolition Man, era. And I think it might be in that. It might be in that. But yeah, and also, Jackie Chan always used to do his own stunts. So just imagine, all the crazy stuff that, he's always outwitting them, always, he's, kind of like fucking, was it Donnie Yen? Was it Donnie Yen in, Lethal Weapon?
Oh, Jet Li?
Oh, Jet Li, yeah. Mean like Jet Li in that movie, or maybe Jet Li is, his sidekick.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's sidekick.
Yeah, you could have, somebody like that. But great question, though.
Mm-hmm.
And the last question we got from this guy, RetroHornyBucko. What a name. Back in 2009, while Stallone was doing the first Expendables, do you think him and Robert Rodriguez should have done a sequel to Planet Terror instead of Machete? I guess a Planet Terror sequel with Stallone.
I would love to see them have done, because at one point Robert Rodriguez was attached to Rambo, and then later on it became Holy War or something like that. Or they did the pitch for Holy War and then tried to do something with Rambo. It was one way around or the other one. But it was pretty cool. It was like Son of Rambo, like Rambo. It was Hamid from Rambo III and Rambo. Yeah. And Rambo had a wife named Michelle who argumentatively he could have met from Rambo 3, because in Rambo of Arabia, that long version of Rambo 3 we're talking about, there is a character named Michelle who's in there. And there's not really a love thing going on, but there's a meeting of the minds between them. And she takes care of Troutman and the injured people. They make like a note to her in the movie, but they don't say it's her. They say that one guy over there, when they go into the prosthetic shop, not prosthetic shop, but when they go into the Afghan camp, the hospital area, so that's the only doctor for 500 miles. But originally it was this Michelle character. And I think that they wanted Madeline Stowe for her in the sequel. For her in the Rambo 4. But to get back to that, I would love to see Sly in a fucking Planet Terror sequel.
Or any kind of movie like that. I mean,
yeah,
it would have been interesting. Machete, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Machete, so I'll take a Planet Terror sequel. Have Stallone
Machete
in there.
Don't text.
Yeah. But that's all the questions for the Stallone Q&A, and I swear there was a few more, but it may have been some questions that may have been deleted. So, and again, I'm sorry this was kind of late, but better late than never. And I'm glad that Matt was able to get on and we can do this and finally get it done. And again, I know it's definitely been a few months. It took some time, but we finally did it. Yeah. So. The few people that sent in questions: Action Fan 80, Jack Craven, Junebug Films, Chaz4543, DJ Donnelly, RetroHornyBucko. Thank you for the questions. And that's all I got. So, and we'll definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Thank
you guys, man. Thank you guys. This was fun.
Some kind of video. And so, once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Matt, for joining up.
Thank you for having me.
So, we'll see you guys later. Hope you like this. Thanks for watching.
Ciao.